drive traffic to your website through social media as you normally do. Instead of offering the person a long blog post or a static lead magnet, you will show an interactive quiz. And to see your results from the quiz, the person needs to provide an email address to you. And once you have the email address, well, then you can do many things. For example, you can send them the quiz results, or you can create a small sequence of emails showcasing your product or service. And this is your opportunity to turn leads into sales. For this video, we are going to focus on this part of the funnel. So that's the quiz creation. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, quizzes? Really? Do they even work? But you would be surprised that the average lead magnet conversion rate is about 20 to 25%, yet quizzes blow that stat out of the water with an average of 40 to 50% conversion rate. So let's get started. Just head to the description of this video and click on the first link, and you end up on InvolveMe's website, which is also the sponsor of this video, and the link that you click is an affiliate link. So if you like them and you later upgrade, that's gonna support this channel. And InvolveMe is an interactive funnel builder, and it is perfect for us as it has a free plan, so you can try it out before committing to anything. And all we need to do here is click here to register for free. So let's add our name and email address and add a password. And then you need to agree to the terms and conditions. And if you want to get tips, then just check this one as well. Let's create a free account. This step is really important because we basically set up our company name. So I'm going to just type in tips with punch, and then we need organization URL. But unfortunately right now it is not available here. You see, this is where it's going to be used. So I need to modify this somehow. So I'm going to just shorten it like this, TWP, and let's see, OG, like this. And then continue. Now let's start the onboarding, and we need to answer a few questions. We're in coaching, then you know how big you are. Let's just select that. And in my case, I want to generate leads, and you probably as well. That's why you're here. And now it gets interesting. We get to choose how to create our first funnel. We can use, start from scratch, choose a template, or create with an AI. Now, let's just go with AI. That's the most exciting one, and it actually kind of gets us going very fast. So here you need to describe your funnel. Here's some instructions that you can set, and then they give you, this is like an example prompt you can do. Now I prepared something. It's much simpler than what Dave instructed here, but the more information you give the AI, the better the results. But I'm gonna keep it generic. I just want a lead gen quiz for my Google Analytics 4 YouTube channel. And basically my goal is to just get that email and their name. And I want to ask a few simple questions, and just to evaluate, what is their skill. And then based on their skill, I want to give them an outcome. So let's just click on continue. And now this is the cool part. If you have a website and you enter it here, it's gonna just copy all the design, the fonts and colors from your website. Let's do that. I'll show you. So generate. And this is the website I ask it to copy. You can see it has, these yellow buttons, and then you have here, this is basically pop-ins, fonts and stuff like that. And my logo is here as well. So now if you come back here, notice how now the quiz also looks exactly the same as my website. Pretty cool, right? And there's my logo. I can obviously adjust it. And in this view, you're able to just go through this quiz and see what it generated for you. So if I just quickly go through this, I can see what's there. And then it's asking for the details. Let's click on next. And here's the thank you page. Okay, great. And don't worry, if some of the colors are not matching what you want, you can change that a bit later. But here you can choose either retry this again, add a bit more details to the AI and generate it again if you're not happy, or you can start editing this funnel. So I'm going to do that. So this works like any page builder. If you click on this, now you can edit here. You can add anything. So let's say hello, and now you see it's updated there. Same with the text. And notice there's this little M here. This just means you can add markdown here. So markdown is like a way to edit your text without coding. So for example, if I just put 2 stars in front and here at the back, anything within these 2 stars becomes bold. You can see that the text changed to bold. So if I remove them, the text goes back to normal. So you can check out on Google how to use markdown. It's pretty simple, and you can edit the text that way. If something's missing here, you want more elements, maybe you want, I don't know, an image here, you just click here on the canvas, and now you see there's a lot of different elements you can add here. not only do you have a different type of choices, questions, rating systems, collecting data. You see here, short answer, long answer. But in this case, I want to add an image. So if I select from an image, and now I can drag the media. Notice there's an image plus text, but I want just an image. And there's already my logo here, but obviously I'm gonna just remove this one. And notice how you can, this element, you can remove it or duplicate it from here, or you can move it around with these arrows. So now I can come to this one and just upload an image from here. Let's say this one image. So now use it, and there you go. Looks nice. Welcome to the GA4 quiz. Looking great, right? So now you have those questions there. You would go through each of the questions and see if it makes sense in general. So if you click on the question here, you see you can update it. You can add a description text. You see it just comes here. And then you can also add a hint or help text. So if I add that one there, there's a little question mark here. So if you hover over it, there's a little hint there. So you can help your participants as well. And there's a few other options here. You can go through them. One important one is to randomize the answers, just because sometimes if you add an answer first, people just pick that first answer. And this way you at least know that, it's randomized and there's no bias towards the first question. And I'm going to go through some of these settings in a bit. But basically, you'd go through each of these questions, update them, see if it fits what you want to do. And just in case you don't like this specific question, let's say you don't want it to be a drop down, but you want it to be something else, you can click on it. And if you scroll down here, you have the option to change from drop down to text choice, image choice. Let's do image choice. Yes, change it. And now we have something else. And obviously now you can also update the answers here. Or if you want to add another answer, you can add it here like this. So super easy to update or even add. So if you need to add a question, you come here and you can say multiple. Here's a multiple choice. You just drag it in here and it will appear there. Obviously, we don't need 2 questions. So I'm just going to go back to where we were. And then once you're done, this is basically the page where you collect the details. And if you want more details, you just come here, click on this one, and you see here form fields. You can add a new field. So if you want to add birthday, or you see country, or any other information you need, you can definitely do it from here. And you can make it also required if needed. But because I don't need birthday, I can just delete this one and keep it super simple. From here, again, if you want to ask people to subscribe to your newsletter as well, you have that option here, and you can delete this if you don't want it. You see there's a delete icon here. Okay, next, I just want to show you that you can also add designs to this. So let's say you're not happy with this button, you can come to the design, and here you can add custom CSS if you know how to. You have also themes here, so you could select a pre-made theme or create your own. Or here, global design settings. So you can come here and, for example, if the button is not to your liking, you can click on the highlights and now you can select a color. So be that blue, let's make it black so it really stands out like this. So now buttons would be black and these are yellow. However, I just want to keep it the same color as the rest. So let's go back. I'm just going to change it quickly like this. And notice that you have other options here. For example, the content position, you have the transition speed. You'll see the transitions between the questions. And you have other things here that you can adjust if you want to. Now, the thing is, this specific quiz came with just one answer. And then the idea is that we would email that answer to the customer. So depending on your answers, you get certain amount of points, and then we send out different emails. However, sending emails based on the answers is under the paid plan, but there's a way around this as well. So I can show you in a second. So to do that, we actually need to add another outcome. So right now there's only one outcome, but we want multiple outcomes. So let's click on the plus here, and notice how it says, hey, if you're now changing this, this funnel type, let's click on change funnel type. So from here, I need to select this answer-based outcomes. So let me explain each of the funnel types. Thank you page funnel shows the same final page to everyone. Use this for contact forms or surveys. We kind of saw that already. It's like the simplest form. Then answer-based outcomes shows different results based on specific answers. So each of the answers gives points to an outcome. And whatever outcome has most points at the end wins. So that one is shown. This one is great for personalized recommendations and personality quizzes. On the other hand, score-based outcomes show results based on total points from answers, with different outcomes for different score ranges. And this one is ideal for tests or assessments with graded outcomes. So you see, the answer-based picks the most points for an outcome, while score-based picks an outcome based on total range. So let's click on change type. And now it's saying here, hey, this is irreversible, and if you've already done some, stuff like this with scoring and stuff, it's gonna remove that. So that's why they're just sort of making sure that you know what you're doing. So let's just type change funnel. And here there's a bit of tips here, but I'm gonna just close this. We're gonna go through these. Notice how we have here outcome 1 and outcome 2. So let's say, because I'm assessing how good they are at the GA4, I'll give the outcomes a name. So let's say you are a guru. Then you have this second outcome. Let's say you are a pro. And then I'm gonna just click here and duplicate this specific outcome. So then I have another one here, and you are a beginner. So now we have 3 different outcomes. And the way it works, we just come here to the first question and then click on these answers. And here, if you scroll down, you have answers here. And now we're able to map the outcome. So let's say if you answer this one, then the outcome is 1. If you answer the second the second answer, then the outcome is 2, and so on. So I'm going to select them. And notice how here the weight is 1. So now if I answer without, this is my answer, outcome 1 gets 1 point. If I answer this one, then outcome 2 gets a 1 point. And then at the end, all the points are calculated together, and then you see one of these outcome pages. Now, the cool thing here is if you scroll that up, individual scores and calculations. So if I enable this, all of a sudden I can add here much higher weighting. So you see 10. So now if I answer the first question, that has a bigger impact on the end result. And keep in mind, you don't need to always, all of these answers could be outcome 1. Nothing is stopping you to add it that way. It's just a way to calculate points together. So, okay, I'm going to go through all of these questions and add some points to them so that we can test this flow. Okay, so done with all the questions. So you see here, all the outcomes are now linked. And if I want to preview all of this, I can come here. You can see that we have preview design or test the funnel. So from here, you would see the design, but we actually want to test the whole funnel. So let's click on that one. Notice how this is a draft preview. It's quite clear here, but we can test it out. I'm just going to answer these quickly. And there you go. Because I answered one of the questions that had a lot of weight on the outcome 1, you can see that this is what I get. But if I now refresh this and just answer it again with some other questions that have higher weights, so for example, this one, let's take a look. You'll notice that now I get a different result. This is a different outcome. So let's go back to the editor. We can actually close this tab. And now you see you could edit this. You can have different outcomes based on what people answered. So a really cool way to engage your potential customers. This way you also get more leads. And this kind of works in every category, in every type of a niche, no matter what your business is into. Let's say you're happy with this is completely designed, or you went through everything. Let's go to the next one, which is configured. These are like the settings for this specific funnel. So here we have funnel name, but because we use the AI, these are all filled in already, but we can take a look and change that if we want to. Then you have funnel domain, and I'll show you that you can actually change the domain, but you also can connect your own custom domain. I'm gonna talk about that a bit later in this video. Then this is the URL. So this will be the URL that you'll be sharing with people. And then response data retention period. Because this is the free plan, we only have 30 days to retain the information people provide us. But you could, set it to unlimited if you upgrade. And same thing with remove involve me watermark. And I didn't mention before, but if I go back to that preview, you see here there's the made with involve me. You could remove that by checking this checkbox. Next, we have a few other settings. This one is really important. First of all, you can receive an email for every submission. This is also a paid feature. But I want to show you the second one, which is really cool. And I'm going to just try it for, let's close this. You can still play around with it. So here, send email when submission is complete or payment is successful. But what you can do here is if you check this one, you're able to select an email for specific outcome. So if you are outcome 1, that was the guru, thank you for filling out funnel. I could just say, you are a GA4 guru, like this. And now I can edit this email. Not only that, but you have different variables you can use from this participant's answer. So if I just type @ so in here you can select things like score. You have also the question here. You have the question itself and the value, the answer that the person gave. And also you have other questions here. Full name, funnel name, and organization name, and so on. So you can add dynamic content this way. It just makes your email a bit more interesting to the participants as well. Okay, so that's that. And then you would update the settings. You can also control the access. So for example, by date. So you can stop the people that cannot access this funnel anymore on certain date. That's useful if you're running a campaign. Or you can also set a submission limit and so on. So there's a few different things you can edit here. And you have personal data. So how do you actually store the personal data? So you can see here. And social media sharing. This is important when you share this quiz on social media, or if somebody shares this quiz on social media, that this is what they will see in the preview. And lastly, we have tracking and scripts. You can, in the free plan, you can add MetaPixel and Google Analytics. So whenever somebody visits this funnel, you will see it in your Google Analytics 4. And then if you need Google Tag Manager or these pixels, you can upgrade to the paid plan, and then it's available there. So let's say you're happy with everything, you've set up everything. Let's click on publish and publish now. And here you are able to share this funnel with anybody. So you have here the URL, short URL, and you can also send it by email. Obviously, you're not going to send the whole thing by email, but it's just the link. Or you can embed it on the website. So let's click on the standard and let's embed this on my website. So from here, you can adjust a few things. But once you're ready, let's get the embed code and just need to copy this code and then go to your page builder. This is Elementor in WordPress, but this should work on any page builder because all of them have this HTML embed option. So all you have to do here in Elements, you just search for HTML. So now with HTML, I'm going to drop it here. You see it here. If I click on it, it says HTML code. Now I can paste it in here and notice how now it's loading it. It's a bit weird right now. I can come here and let's say I make this 800. Let's copy the code and then paste it in here. And now you see it fits nicely into my HTML block. Now I could preview this and you see that shows up super nice. I've started the quiz here. And if I answer these questions, let's do that quickly. You see, I'm a guru. Awesome. So now if I go back to the Involve Me and close this and I go to responses, you see I have 8 visits and 1 completed submission. These visits obviously is purely me and I just submitted it and the outcome was number 1. And the stats just, there's a lot of things you can analyze here just because you can see what people actually chose here and what was their response and how long it took them to actually go through this. Super useful, especially when you start having like 50 or 100 responses. So you can analyze what people are actually doing. And then if you need to, you can also export this data or just let the AI give you insights. Now, the last thing I want to show you here is the connect. And what's nice about Involve Me is that it connects to a lot of different tools. So for example, if you're running some email campaigns through Brevo, you can connect Brevo with Involve Me, and then the emails you collect go directly to Brevo. So you don't need to do that manually. You don't need to update that. Or maybe you want to do it traditional way and send it to Google Sheets. That's also possible. So you see, there's a lot of things you can integrate with. And if your tool is not on this list, don't worry. You can also use Zapier to connect any 2 tools together. Pretty much all apps connect to Zapier. So that's also an option. But there's a lot of different tools you can look up here. And mostly these are either email marketing tools or CRMs that you can connect to. Okay, so now let's go to my workspace from here. I haven't shown you around the platform at all. So here you can see I have 1 quiz. You would see all your quizzes, forms, and funnels in one place. and you can access them from here, or you can also just create a new funnel if you want from here. Now, before ending this video, I want to show you an important thing here. If you go and click on your name here, you see you have here your quotas. These are basically the limits that this plan comes with. So for example, visits this month, I have 500, and submissions, I have 50. So this is how much you can get submissions in a free plan. But if you upgrade it, that's going to go higher. Then in settings, this is something that you might have to change later on, but usually once you set it, you kind of forget about it. But this is where you would set your name as an organization and the URL snippet. So this is the URL we are working with now. But what if I don't like this OG? I could change it to something else as long as it's available. And then you have the single sign-on here, but that's not for this tutorial. And then I want to show you that you can manage domains. So you can add a domain name to Involve Me. Here you'll be able to add your own domain name here. So for example, if you have a website and it's your, let's say the URL is yourdomain.com, you could create a subdomain, something like funnel.yourdomain.com, and then you connect that custom domain name to Involve Me. And that way, your funnels will look more professional because it's on your domain name, but you're still using Involve's funnels. And lastly, if you're going to use Involve Me to collect payments, you can do it. Here's payment integrations. Right now, you can only set connect test accounts. So here you have PayPal, Stripe, and Square. So if you're using one of those, you could connect it and actually have a checkout so that people pay you money for any of your products. Now you know how to create a lead gen funnel, but without an email marketing tool, you won't be able to fully implement it and convert leads to customers. That's why you should watch this video right here next, where I'll show you how to get started with kit.com for your email marketing so that you can build up those offers and email sequences to really warm up your leads.